He said her eyes brought misfortunes, and they despised her for it. People of the land, gather close, because tonight, I'll tell you a story. In the heart of a Nubi village, a child was born beneath an omen sky. The clouds split open in colors no one had ever seen, a bright purple and gold, and a wailing cry pierced through the night. That cry would one day shake the foundations of fear and faith alike. Her name was Nkemdili, let mine be. But to the villagers, she was the cursed child. It was said that her mother, Uluaku, screamed only once during childbirth and never breathed again. When the midwives lifted the baby, their mouths fell open. Her eyes. They were not brown, nor black, nor even blue. They shimmered with the color of twilight, deep purple, glowing faintly like embers of a forgotten god. The village elder spat on the floor. Abomination, he hissed. A child born with the eyes of the spirits cannot bring peace. That night, thunder rolled across the sky, and a wind tore through Uluaku's hut. Some said it was her spirit leaving. Others said the gods had marked the child for a purpose beyond mortal understanding. But Nkemdili would not know love, not yet. She grew under the care of her aunt, Ngozi, a widow who feared the rumors but pitied the child. Ngozi raised her in silence, always cautious, always whispering prayers at night. When Nkemdili walked through the village paths, children would stop their play and stare. Women clutched their beads, men crossed their arms. That's the one whose eyes can see spirits, the witch who killed her mother, the cursed child of Nobi. Every word was a dagger, yet Nkemdili walked with quiet dignity. Her gaze never wavered, even when the market women poured sand where her feet had stepped. At 12, she began to feel different. When she wept, the ground around her bloomed with strange purple flowers. When she touched the river, its water shimmered with light. And when she dreamt, she saw visions of a woman bathed in gold, calling her name from beyond the hills. Nkemdili, my child, do not fear what you are. But each time she woke, her aunt forbade her from speaking of it. Hush, child, the villagers will hear. Do you want them to burn us alive? So Nkemdili learned silence. Years passed, and her powers grew stronger. It became harder to hide. One market day, a child fell into the village well. Panic erupted. Men shouted, women screamed. Before anyone could act, Nkemdili rushed forward. She raised her hands, and the water rose. It lifted the boy gently to the surface, placing him safely on the ground. The crowd froze. The boy's mother ran to him, sobbing with joy. But when she turned to Nkemdili, gratitude turned to horror. You used witchcraft, she cried. You summoned spirits. And like wildfire, the cries began. Burn her. She's the daughter of darkness. She killed her mother. Now she wants to kill us all. They chased her through the market, stones raining upon her until she fled into the forest. Her aunt's voice echoed behind her, crying her name. But Nkemdili did not stop. The forest swallowed her tears. That night, she slept beneath the ancient Iroko tree, the one said to stand where the gods once walked. And in her dreams, the golden woman appeared again. You are my child, the woman said, her voice like wind through palm leaves. I am Allah, the goddess of the earth. The life that left your mother's body entered yours. Her death was not your curse. It was her sacrifice. You carry divine power, born of earth and spirit. The world will fear you until they understand you. When Nkemdili awoke, the dawn light shimmered purple through the mist. Around her, the forest had bloomed overnight. Flowers, vines, and butterflies never before seen in Anobi. She fell to her knees. Mother of the earth, What do you want of me? The wind whispered back. Heal them, even when they hate you. That is your test. Months passed. The village suffered. The river dried and the crops failed. Children fell ill. They ran to their gods, but the shrines were silent. One evening, a storm gathered. Not rain, but wind and dust. The villagers heard voices wailing in the night. Even the brave warriors trembled. The chief priest declared that the gods were angry. Someone among us has offended Allah, he cried. The curse of the purple-eyed child has brought ruin upon us. They sent hunters into the forest to find Nkemdili, to drag her back and end her life. But what they found was not a witch. They found a woman standing before the Iroko tree, her hands raised toward the sky, eyes glowing softly in the stormlight. The ground beneath her feet pulsed with light, and the wind bent to her voice. I did not come to destroy you, she said, her voice carrying like thunder. I came to free you from your own blindness. The hunters dropped their weapons. Some fell to their knees. Lightning struck a nearby tree, yet it did not burn. Instead, from its charred bark, fresh green leaves began to grow. The men ran back trembling. We saw her, they shouted. She commands the storm. Fear spread again, but so did curiosity. Days later, the chief priest, old and frail, came alone to the forest. He found Nkemdili kneeling by the riverbank, her reflection glowing purple on the surface. Why did you spare us? He asked. After all the pain we caused you. She looked up, her voice calm, because forgiveness heals faster than fire. You call me witch, but your hatred blinds you to your own sins. You feared what you did not understand. He bowed his head in shame. Then help us, child of Allah. The land dies and our children starve. Nkemdili closed her eyes. The wind stilled. She placed her palm on the earth, and the ground began to hum, a low, deep sound like the breath of the world. The river gushed to life again, bursting through its dry bed in a silver stream. Rain fell from the skies, gentle and pure. The chief priest fell prostrate. The gods have returned through her, he cried. When Nkemdili returned to the village, no one dared look her in the eye. The same people who had spat at her feet now knelt before her. She walked to the marketplace, the same place they once threw stones at her, and there, under the gaze of her people, she spoke. Do not kneel to me, kneel to truth. I am not a witch. I am proof that even what you fear most may be what saves you. Her aunt ran to her, tears flowing. They embraced, and the crowd broke into sobs. The women began to sing, not of fear this time, but of hope. Years later, Nkemdili became a legend. Some said she vanished into the forest, walking back into the arms of the goddess. Others said she lived among the people, healing and teaching until her hair turned silver. But every harvest season, when the sun set and the sky turned purple, the villagers would gather and tell her story. And if you walk through Nobi on such a night, the old women will point at the horizon and whisper, Look, the sky bears her eyes. Nkemdili is watching. The girl we once cursed, now our guardian. They say every generation births another child with her mark, a child with eyes that shimmer purple when the moon is full. Could it be that Allah still walks among us through them? Perhaps, somewhere in another village tonight, a baby with strange eyes has just been born.